Let's walk through how to make these lemon braided brioche buns. They are so good and I highly recommend them. Now, I did make a video previously just last week on how to make these, but I've made some adjustments and actually followed the original recipe all the way through. And I think that missing step makes a huge difference. What was the missing step, you ask? It is putting the dough in the fridge overnight. Now, if you don't have time for this, you can still get this done in the same day. That's what I did initially. And they're still delicious. It doesn't affect the quality of the bread. It's just as good either way. The only difference is making them the second day will make it 10,000 times easier to braid the bread because it's stiffer due to the dough being cold, and that will make it easier to manage. I also didn't do the greatest job explaining how you braid it because it was actually really confusing for me the first time, and doing it the second time, I think I actually still screwed up in how I explained it to you guys. So we're going to walk through that one more time, but I'm going to show you in detail so there's no chance of you messing it up. And we're going to go through it 3 times so you don't have to rewind the video to watch my hands. So you cut this into 8 pieces after folding it envelope style, and then you're going to cut those 8 individual pieces into 4 thin strips. And you're going to layer them cross-hatch just like this. You're going to be doing that with the adjacent corners first, and then you're going to take the 2 tail ends of the pieces that are sticking out closest together and cross them over. But the trick is you have to make sure you're crossing over the one that is exposed. So I'll show you what I mean here on the second go around. As you can see, I'm going to point at this piece that's exposed, you cross it over, and then on the other 2, you're going to go the other direction because the other parallel side will be exposed, meaning the piece that is just not folded underneath another piece. When finished, it will look like this, and then you just pull it up and pinch the bottom. But you don't even necessarily have to pinch the bottom, you can just set it directly in the muffin tins because it'll come together as it proofs. I put them in the tin liners just because it makes them easier to pull out when you're finished, but if you don't have those, you can just spray your pan or butter your pan. You'll know they're ready to bake when they're puffed up. You're going to want to preheat your oven to 350, brush them in a little bit of egg wash, and then throw those babies right in. Not literally, of course, just set them in there. I like to rotate the pans while they're in there because as you can see, there's only 6 here. I have 2 in another muffin tin, but it helps give them an even golden brown. Once they're out and cooled off, you can then top them with this lemon glaze and a little bit of zest and basil. All of that's completely optional though, of course. You don't have to do any of that. They're just as good by themselves also. I hope you guys enjoy these as much as we do. Thanks so much for tuning in.